The following is an instructional on how to get your middle splits completely flat to the floor. So if you've been trying and trying and trying and you just cannot get them flat, this is the video for you. First pose you want to be working on that I was just showing is frog pose. Your knees are at 90 degrees and you want to be able to get your hips flat to the floor before you can get your hips flat to the floor in your middle splits. One way to help you get there is by using yoga blocks. So here I'm showing you, I'm taking one block under one knee at a time, and you want to really take your time in this stretch. You could spend anywhere from at least a minute up to 5 to 8 minutes on each side. So once you feel comfortable with doing one block under one knee at a time, you can take one block under each knee and hold in your frog pose here. Again, keeping your hips in line with your knees from the side that you can see from this angle, as well as your heels in line with your knees at that 90-degree angle. Making sure you're engaging your abs so that your spine is not collapsing towards the floor here. After you've held that stretch for at least a minute, set your blocks off to the side and reattempt your frog pose without the blocks. Now your frog pose should be even closer to the floor if it isn't already flat. When you're in your frog pose, you can do things like rock your upper body side to side, walk your hands to one side and then the other, any kinds of little movements that help you relax into frog pose further. Next up is focusing on your straddle. Now, straddle is not 100% essential to getting your middle splits because it does stretch your inner thighs and groin muscles in a different way. However, it is essential to being able to roll through your middle splits and have a greater range of mobility. So I do suggest practicing your straddle in combination to your middle splits. Here I'm showing using a block under each of my ankles to help my straddle get more flexible. So when you're working into your straddle split here, you want to really lead with your chest and keep your back as flat as possible. Straddle pose is also referred to pancake pose when you can get your chest all the way down flat to the mat. So after you've practiced your frog posture and your straddle, now's your time to work on coming into your middle split. So a middle split is when from the side angle, your heels are in line with your hips and your legs are 100% straight and your hips are touching the floor as I'm showing here. So if you're having trouble getting to those last couple inches down to the floor when you try to get into your middle split, it's frustrating and it looks a little bit like this, to where when you get into your middle split, your hips are elevated and you're sad about your middle split progress. So one thing you can do to get your splits closer to the floor is practicing over splits. So practice with either one foot on a block or both feet on a block as I'm showing here. Scoot yourself as forward as you can, having your heels towards the back end of the block. You're going to have to take a deep breath in, brace yourself as you come over forward. So lifting your hips up, there we go, and over. So now my heels are in line with your hips. I recommend holding this posture for 3 to 5 deep breaths and then relaxing and repeating that as many times as you need to get your middle splits flat to the floor. Really make sure that you are properly warming up and cooling down after you stretch for middle splits. Please leave any more questions you have in the comments below. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Namaste.